let's bring in Dan Hoffman, former CIA station chief. He served in Russia, now a Fox News contributor. Dan, great to see you. You know, we've been talking a little bit about the psyche of Vladimir Putin and what this behind the scenes, it's no longer a one-on-one, it's essentially a couple of others in the room, but what this may look like, and you have a kind of unique insight into Putin from years of experience.
Yeah, I spent decades at CIA trying to see the world through the twisted eyes of Vladimir Putin, and what I can tell you is that he's got an incredibly high threshold for pain, but for his own countrymen, he has destroyed Ukraine and targeted Ukrainian civilians ruthlessly. But as Steve noted, 1 million injured or killed Russian soldiers. That's an incredible amount. Russia's on their knees begging for help from North Korea, cannon fodder, North Korean soldiers fighting on Russia's behalf, Iran providing drones, and Russia on their knees to China, exporting their hydrocarbons and keeping their economy as weak as it is afloat. And that's not a good look for Russia. And the ones who see that most closely are Putin's own inner circle, his national security officials, intelligence officers. That's why the CIA has mounted a full court press over the past few years with those videos recruiting Russians, high-level sources who can tell us about Putin's plans and intentions. Dictatorships are brittle, and Vladimir Putin probably knows better than anybody the cost that he has forced Russia to bear for this loser war that has resulted in Europe being awakened from their Cold War slumber, paying for their own defense, and engaged in that endeavor. Finland and Sweden, now NATO members. The question is, past his prologue, Putin isn't interested in making a deal. But maybe he's reached a tipping point. President Trump is giving Putin one last best chance. And I would emphasize it's not just Putin listening, it's his senior officials as well to this opportunity.
You make great points. NATO has never been larger, and they have never spent more money than they're spending right now as a result of the negotiations that President Trump has been able to put forward. I'm curious what you think about the Russian people as they watch all this, because they get a filtered view of what's going on. But how strong is his support at home? We know their elections are not like ours, but what's your sense?
Well, I think Steve's right that Vladimir Putin does not allow freedom of expression or freedom of assembly in Russia. He also doesn't have a Politburo like the Soviets did, where you had a bunch of, albeit old, geriatric guys getting together to talk about domestic and foreign policy and making decisions, even though there was one general secretary and, of course, in Stalin's time, one dictator. But that wasn't always the case. In this case, with Putin, it's the vertikalnaya vlast, the vertical of power, where Putin himself is responsible for so many decisions and has made so many intelligence failures, ironic as that might be, given his KGB past. So, look, I think the challenge that we face is that Vladimir Putin alone is responsible for this war, but he's in the room with President Trump right now, and that offers an opportunity potentially to resolve it, though I feel like we're closer to the beginning of this than the end.
Really quickly, Dan, just talk for a second about the psyops of the foreign minister, Sergei Lavrov, showing up here in Alaska with a CCCP sweatshirt, which is essentially the Soviet Union, the USSR, walking into the hotel, knowing that the reporters were going to see him, just about the whole thing of wearing that sweatshirt.
Yeah, probably a play to Vladimir Putin, who said that the collapse of the Soviet Union was the worst geopolitical catastrophe of the previous century. But hey, things didn't turn out too well for the Soviet Union. It's kind of the joke's on Lavrov, I think, in this case.
Dan, thank
Dan
you.
Hoffman, we appreciate the time.
Good to have you with us.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.